Morning, everybody. Thought I'd do a quick video this morning. Yeah, street credit. Who has it? How do you get it? I I bring this up because geez, I forgot it. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I meant to bring it with me, but I talked last time about this diet smoke company. I'm not getting anything from them, but I tried it last week. I ordered some pre-rolls, and man, I was really impressed. Really good stuff. I put it this way: it was 5 1 gram pre-rolls, and I smoked the first one. I smoked it, and I was like, it took me all day long to smoke it. It was that good. I was really surprised. So after that, I took them and I just cut them open and put them into my one hitter here, right? And on Friday, I ordered some. This is flour. This has got a 1 gram bud in it, and I ordered some of that, and it got here yesterday, and I still had some in that one hitter from those 5 pre-rolls. But when it comes to street credit and cannabis, there's 2 names that if you can spit those names out in the cannabis world, you're considered a top level connoisseur of cannabis. In the second position, because there's only 2 positions, in the second position is Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg, you smoke with Snoop Dogg, you got street credit for days. But maybe you smoke with the number 1 person, which is Willie Nelson, who I smoked with, you get street credit for life. February 16th, 2006, Big Spring, Texas. I smoked weed with Willie before his concert. That's what was fun. It was before he even went in. So my analysis of such products should come with some weight, because I've been smoking now for 36 years about, and I've seen it all the way from the 80s, the Mexican dirt weed, to the 90s of hydro, when they first started turning out hydroponically grown weed. And that was a game changer. I remember when that stuff hit the market. You got any hydro, man? Nobody knew. Like, this is called Tropicana cookies, right? So, everything's got a name now. It used to be just, if it was grown in water, it was hydro. If it was grown in dirt, it was just weed. So, but yeah, I was really impressed with this stuff. I I heavily recommend, if especially like in Texas, where it's legal through the state. Like I've told y'all before, the compassionate use program in Texas lets people with certain conditions get 100% THC oil and gummies and like lozenges. But it's pretty expensive. It's not cheap. And I tried it for a while. And, I'm just not into gummies and oil. Right? So, yeah, it was okay, but it just, and it was so expensive. You had to order, at least, I want to say it was $250 worth of product before you got free delivery. And the delivery was $65. Yeah, because it comes from Houston. And so, wow, I was like, okay, it just, it just wasn't worth it. And then I saw this on Roseanne Barr, her podcast, and so I looked it up, and wow, they got lots of stuff on there. But I was just, wow. If anybody's looking for a legal, upgraded version of your everyday weed, this is as good as I've ever had. This is as good as I've ever had. We and when we had to grow in Oklahoma, we grew 6 different strains, and our best strain, our highest THC yielding, was a blueberry muffin that we turned out about 5% THC in it. It was good stuff. It was a sativa, and that's the thing about hemp is sativa, and sativa is what I hunt. Sativa is what I want. Yeah, indica. I don't care for indica. It makes me too hungry. I get hungry. Can't help it. But that's that part of our street credit. And there's Willie, smoking with Willie. I even saw an interview with Snoop Dogg. And Snoop Dogg said when he smoked with Willie, they were in Amsterdam, and Willie smoked him under the table. He had to quit, from what I remember. And hell, they even wrote a song about I ain't gonna smoke weed with Willie no more. And so I hope my recommendation comes with a little bit of weight, seeing as how I have street credit and how I got it. If you don't believe me, you can look up February 16th, 2006 on Willie's tour schedule. And there it is, Big Spring, Texas, Memorial Stadium. But that's what's funny, that they put Memorial Stadium on there, because he played in the Coliseum. Our junior college has a Coliseum, holds about 2,500 people. And then beside it is a parking lot. And then beside the parking lot, same parking lot for Memorial Stadium, high school football field. And he did play Memorial Stadium back in 1970, I want to say 77. He played there for us as a fundraiser to help the school district buy new goalposts. That was big. That was an outdoor concert there on the football field. They took the goalpost down so they could set up the stage. and so Willie's like, I think it was a request and at the end a necessity, because the way they wanted to do it was, we'd like to put it right here, but the goalposts are here. And they're like, yeah, we're getting new ones anyway, man. We'll take them down. But I just wanted you to be well informed, especially those of you in the States that it's not legal. This is legal. It's hemp. It's less than 0.3% Delta 9 THC, which by federal law and state laws is legal. It's a salute to hippie potheads going all the way back in the 60s in Humboldt, in California, learning how to grow different strains and figuring out all the minutes of cannabinoids and terpenes and THCA, Delta 8, Delta 9, all those things. Those guys are pretty smart, man. Pretty smart. Hey, what's up, Facto? How are you? But it was weird because I'd been going, this this having texting my boy and him driving into our community and pulling up in my driveway and making our exchanges was getting like, you can only try some things so many times before it goes wrong. So I just do not need that kid pulling in my driveway and then somebody, police pulling in behind him. I don't know where he's been. I don't know what he's been doing. You like to think that you wouldn't get in that position, but you could. Plus, this stuff, if you get caught with it, it says on it right there, derived from hemp, less than 0.3% of THC. So cops are trained and they know that, okay, that's legal. Nothing wrong with it. But you'll notice so far, I haven't taken a hit yet, because you take one, and my experience so far, taking one, I'm good for an hour or two. It's amazing. And it doesn't take a lot. So I'm going to save money. This is going to last longer. It's going to be better high. I say high. For me, I use sativas and stuff because of my back, because I muscle spasm so much. The right now the shoulders just spasmed up, and God, it hurts so bad. It's just, it hurts. That stuff helps relax those muscles, helps ease that joint pain, and it doesn't fog your head up. That's what I love. Is it doesn't mess with your head at all. That's the beauty of it. You just, with the indicas, you just get the whole body, your head, your body turn into a marshmallow. That's what I love about sativas, is you get the right strains, you get your niche, and man, it is good medicine. Very good medicine. We for years and years, everybody's been through it that ever smoked weed, is have any idea what you're getting, And my guy I've been using the last 2 years out here, he's like, oh yeah, I can get you this, I can get you that. And I'm like, well, don't get me anything but sativas. Whenever I, ask for stuff, if you don't have a sativa, just tell me I don't have any. We'll find alternatives on them, because I just don't want it. I hate, a few times he's gotten me bags of indica, and the first smoke, I'm like, oh no, no, crap. I got to do this whole bag before. It's just painful. But my my FedEx driver, first day they brought those joints, I was like, oh sweet, they're here. And she goes, oh, are you expecting something? And I said, yeah, in here is something that just may change everything for me in my pursuit for pain control and decent comfort. And she said, what is it? And I told her, and she's like, my husband, he's got PTSD, he's in the Navy and all this stuff, and he smokes some. And I said, yeah, but he probably has to get it off the street, right? And she's like, well, yeah. So I told her about the CUP program, and I told her about this stuff. And she's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And I said, yeah, tell your husband. I said, it's legal, it's better, all that, right? And so yesterday when she delivered this, she's like, is it more? And I said, yeah. And I opened the box and I showed her the little deal. And I opened it up and showed her there's a 1 gram bud in there. And she's like, oh, man. And that's when I pulled out the street credit. I said, okay, now listen, if you don't trust me, on this, that I understand, but let me tell you, I have street credit. And she's like, oh, yeah. And I told her the deal about there's two names in the world that if you've smoked with them, your advice on cannabis should not be questioned. And she kind of laughed, and I said, one is Snoop Dogg, and the other one is Willie. And I smoked with Willie. And she's like, oh, you didn't. And I was like, heck yeah, I did. I smoked with Willie. And she's like, oh, cool. She said, I'll tell my husband. She said, we'll look this up. And I said, well, you want to get, for me, it was getting out of that legal loophole. I know in Texas that they're not going to arrest you unless you have over an ounce or so. And then it's just going to be a misdemeanor, but you just don't want the scene. You don't want the spectacle. You don't want any of that. You got a real quiet neighborhood in here. The cops have never been here except that I know of, except to my house to get Alan the fuck out of here when he was tripping on mushrooms. Oh, I would see. It's just habit. I was fixing to have another one, and I don't need it. I don't need it. It's just habit. I was in the habit with my old stuff was you always had to reload. It'd last a while, and then bleh. You need some more. So that's my public service announcement on street credit and cannabis. They right now are, y'all have heard it, everybody's heard it. Oh, the FDA is going to reschedule, cannabis. And it's like, even if they take it down to a Schedule 3, it's not going to make it legal. It's going to make it just like prescription drugs, that if you have Tylenol 3 that you don't have a prescription for, you're in trouble. I don't know what the level of penalty is, but you're still breaking the law, right? And so the feds will still, from what I understand, feds will still look at it like that. It won't be, it's just marijuana. It's no, you're not supposed to, you're not supposed to have that, without a prescription. And they're still kicking around how that's going to work, because think about that. At federal level, still, there will be a criminality to it, which is the problem hovering over the industry right now, is that even the states that legalize it, it's not necessarily 100% legal, because the feds can come in at any time and shut it down. Remember, guys, when California first passed it, that happened all the time. They'd let people get their products and their setup going full steam, going well, and then they come in and raid them, take everything, confiscate everything, not file charges on them, not do anything to them, just come in and raid them, just ruin their business. And finally, from what I understand, they quit doing that. I ain't heard anything about it in quite a while, but yeah, when they first did it, feds were like, still against the law to us. We don't care. And so, that legal thing, they've Farm Bill in 2018 completely legalized this. This lawyer, he had the law, the bill, whatever you want to call it, up there, and the way it read, they were smart enough in the phrasing to include every possible thing you can extract out of that. The salts, extracts, terpenes, cannabinoid, all the way down. They line out everything. And so hemp was kind of like, the sneaky kid that snuck in the door, when everybody else was going in. It's like, heck yeah, man, we're in. Everybody chill, be quiet. Let's get this quietly going. And everybody saw the same thing. Boom, an explosion of CBD. Everybody's like, what is that? And they're like, oh, it's from hemp. They've legalized it. Everybody loves CBD, vape pens and gummies. And it was just exploding. And quietly, they were working on their strains to enhance that THCA and keep that Delta 9 down. And wow, they hit the nail on the head. And what's pretty cool is on each one, like this one, it says on it here on the front, getting so old I can't see, it says here on the front, It says 100% hemp derived, 26.4% THC. It doesn't say THC. It just says THC. And let's see, what does it say? It says it's scientifically formulated for a beautifully balanced buzz. Start with one puff if you're using diet smoke for the first time. Give yourself about an hour and work your way up from there. Enjoy. And that's true. That's the way you should do it, man. Yeah, right. And that's one of the things that we all know in the true community, flat earth community and stuff, of the reasons that they took, things like cannabis from us, because it worked, because it was a healer, because it was one of God's natural healing plants that had just such a broad pharmacological use. And anytime the government bans something, it must be good for you. It must be something that is going to break one of their cycles. Oh, and I heard something the other day I'd never heard before about prohibition of alcohol. I never heard this. I thought just about every damn thing there was about prohibition and stuff, but one of the things that I never heard was that people were using alcohol for fuel in their cars. Yeah, brew you up some some mash there at the house, and drink some of it, pour some in the car, head to town. That's pretty cool. Think about that. That would have been great. Have your own still set up and making yourself some party libations and fuel for your vehicle. That's sweet. But they saw that and went, whoa, you guys are y'all are doing something wrong here, so we're going to figure out a way to make a law to get it out of your dadgum hands. We can't have you people being self-sufficient and doing things like that. We can't have it at all. How are we going to sell our petroleum to you? How are we going to sell us poison? You can't be having cannabis. You can't be having alternative fuels. And you got to love that. These days, it's all, we got to have alternative fuels, renewables. Well, corn mash, what's wrong with that? That's fairly natural, renewable. You can grow your own. You're not. You're helping the environment. You're not destroying it. Emissions, all of that stuff. We had all that shit figured out a long time ago, until they come along going, yeah, you're doing too good. You're just really doing too good here. You guys are not needing us. You're not relying on us, and we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that right now. And it's just, the evil that we've been living in and through. But hey, glory to God, right? It's gonna be all good. And so, hitting on God, did y'all see that portrait of King Charles? Oh my God! Wow, talk about in your face freaking evil. Just if you hadn't seen it, wow, look at it. It's and one of the first things you notice is on his shoulders a monarch butterfly. And then if you see the picture, look all around the edges of him. There are demons all around. It's supposed to be this abstract painting. But if you look, you can see it. You can see it. It's in there. And it's just like, it's right in our face. They're just, it's over. It started with Obama. They start taking the mask off and they just start saying it right out. I just started going for it. They were like, this is our window. We got to do it. But we struggle not with flesh and blood, but with principalities and I forget the whole thing. You know what I'm talking about. But it's just crazy that what do you do? What do you do? You try to live a productive life. You try to be independent. You try to be responsible, and the government's not going to have that. They're just not going to have it. You need to follow the rules. Follow the rules, baby. They teach you from a little bit kid. Follow the rules. Oh, what if the rules are stupid? Well, somebody smarter than you made up the rules, so they can't be. They just can't be. But we get our street credit a lot of different ways, and that's one way that I have a little bit. And no, I ain't gonna lie, I got a lot because not many people in the walking around in the regular world can say that. Celebrities, all those people, sure, they get to, but the regular everyday Joe, the old schlub walking around kicking rocks, yeah, doesn't happen very often. And thank you, Lord, put me in the right place, right time. I think I told that story before. Willie was playing there at the Coliseum, and my buddy was the Coliseum director. And he called me one day and goes, "Guess what?" And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Willie's going to come play here at the Coliseum, him and David Allan Coe." And I was like, "You're shitting me," because I love David Allan Coe and Willie. And he's like, "Yeah, man." He says, "Come up to the Coliseum." And he said, "I got these tickets they sent to us for pre-sale, and run around with me, help me distribute them." I was like, "Okay." So I went with him, and while we're driving along, he goes, "Hey, you want to be their liaison?" He says, they called ahead and said the band would be here around lunch, and if somebody could take them around town, show them around, they appreciate it. And I said, "Well, sure." And he goes, you know, they told me they like to go to all the pawn shops, look for old vintage guitars, things like that. Just go see what little towns have, especially little towns. I was like, cool. So they showed up at that time. Me and the band, 5 guys at a Suburban. We headed downtown. We went to all the pawn shops and we went to lunch. Great guys, great guys. And took them back, and they go in and start setting up. And shit, it was funny. Willie didn't show up till about 30 minutes before he was supposed to go on. And I'd never seen it before. They took the bus and they jumped the curb around the Coliseum. They got pine trees and stuff everywhere. And that bus driver, he maneuvered that daggum bus. You've seen the honeysuckle rose. You've seen Willie's bus. He pulled that sucker up within 6 feet of the entry door where Willie was going in. That was so crazy. He set the jacks out, set that thing up, and I'm standing there, and one of the band guys says, "Oh, hey, you want to go meet Willie?" And I was like, "Well, of course I do." He's like, "Yeah, come on." We go in. Willie's sitting there at the table, and they're, "Willie, this is our liaison. This is Tommy." He's like, "Hey, nice to meet you." Hey. We sat down. He's also, "So how are you today?" I said, "Good, good. It's nice to meet you, Willie." And he kind of smiled and goes, "Want to smoke one?" "Sure, let's do it." And he opens up this deal beside the table, and he pulls out a QP. I mean, almost, geez, that was huge. And he spins one up, and we light it up. Me and Willie are smoking, and his daughter comes in from the back. And she's like, "Oh, hi, we got a visitor." And, I go, "Hey, yeah, this is our liaison for today." And she goes, "Hey, nice to meet you." And I went to shake her hand. And she goes, "No, pass the joint. We pass joints in this family. We don't shake hands." And I was like, "Fair enough, man." She sat down with us. We finished off that joint. Willie was asking me all about what I do. I was telling him about working in surgery and stuff. He was just fascinated, right? And I'm just telling him stories, and we're just shooting the shit. And I'm asking him, what was one of his favorite songs, one of his favorite deals, he'd ever produced. And he said, "Oh, Pancho and Lefty." I said, "No shit, right? I love Pancho and Lefty. That's what a great theme, great story." And just, wow, what a great guy. And got a picture for him. He was cool with me bringing my parents and getting pictures with them. And David Allan Coe, the same way. David Allan Coe, this was one of the funniest things. We were sitting there smoking that joint, and his tour manager's sitting over on the couch, and he goes, "Hey, is he wearing that damn wig tonight?" The guy goes, "Yeah, I think so. Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I hate when he wears that damn thing. Jesus, why does he do that?" And I was kind of like, I didn't know really what they were talking about until I went out and saw David Allan Coe on the stage, and he was wearing this big rainbow colored wig. You couldn't even see his face or nothing, just hanging over him, just completely covering him. And and Willie just hates that. Willie's like, "Yeah, that's dumb," but it's David Allan Coe. He's been to prison. I don't think Willie's gonna say much to him, you know. But that was pretty cool. I mean, that's one of those things that, you know, if it happens to you, you know, count your blessings, because you know those chances don't come on very often. And my buddy, he was he was like, you know, what happened? What happened? What happened? You know, what'd they say? What'd you do? And I was like, dude, you didn't go sit with Willie and talk with him or anything? You're like the Coliseum director. You're like running this show, you know? And he's like, no, I didn't. They didn't invite me. I'm like, you're kidding. They didn't invite you in? You know, no, they didn't invite me. And I was like, okay, cool. But the band guys were so cool. Those guys, they, it's fun when you go with somebody like that and like they want to check out a guitar and they can play the shit out of it, right? And they test run these things. They didn't buy anything. One guy was looking for like antique farm tools, you know, like old sickles and old hammers and things like that, you know. And they loved, you can look it up, in Big Spring has one of the oldest record shops in, if it's not the state, the country. That's what's called, the record shop. And they'd heard of the record shop. They wanted to go. So I took them to the record shop. Hell, we probably spent 2 hours in that record shop. They were hollering back and forth. Hey, look here. Remember this tour? And they pull up something like Lefty Frizzell. You know, somebody, remember what we doing with Lefty? You know, they're laughing. You're just sitting there, the nostalgia, you know, the history of these guys, the people they performed with and the places they performed. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I was lucky to have that happen. But we, you know, we're living in a world where those things, you know, those things are hard to come by. Willie, it was only about 3 months after that the big story, Willie got pulled over outside El Paso. We didn't get pulled over. There's a border patrol station there outside of El Paso, and everybody has to go through it. Well, they pull Willie over. They search the bus. They arrest him. They have a big scene, you know, for nothing. They knew he had weed in there. They did it on purpose. They just wanted the publicity. And, you know, that's how our government works. You know, Willie's got a history of, of pot smoking and all that, and never had any trouble until, you know, it's public. Once it's public and people know, hold on, I got a dog wanting to go out. You know, it was no secret that Willie partook, and law enforcement is just terrible.
Oh, they tore up Lanny.
Do what?
I said they tore up Lanny.
I'm on the live stream.
Did you tear up Lanny, big boy?
Did you hear me? She didn't hear me. I'm on the live stream.
Hello, good morning.
She says hello, good morning, everyone. But yeah, that was my thing for the day. So guess I'll get out of here. I don't know where you put your coffee cup. I was looking for it. Oh, I see it. It got stuffed up top.
Yeah.
There it is. Now I see it. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm going to get out of here. Love you all. Good discernment and good vibrations. Take care.